One of the most common problems that I see in people's life is when they don't make it to the gym for a day or they eat unhealthy for a day, and then they use that as an excuse to say, well, I'm just gonna eat unhealthy this whole week and I'll get back to it next week, or something along those lines. And I actually posted a story on my Instagram asking what problems people were working through and what they wanted to learn about. And this was actually one of the questions that I got, and I'm actually gonna read it exactly. So it says, why when I fail for a day or two, do I use that as an excuse to keep failing? What is the solution? Now, I wanna start with this. I'm actually gonna go into something tactical that can really help you and is an incredible solution. And it is so simple. This will be most likely like one of the most simple tactical things that you can do to really move your life forward every single day. To not stray, as we all do, we stray from our goal, we stray from the things we're gonna do. You know, especially at this time of year, we are now March 15th, we're halfway through the third month of the year. And most people started the year strong. They had this idea of what their entire life would look like this year. And it all, as we know, breaks down to the little habits, the decisions, those little micro decisions we make every single day. What time we wake up, if we actually listen to ourselves and go to the gym, etc., etc. And if you're most people have given up on whatever commitments they made to themselves at the beginning of this year. And that's not okay. And I'm not saying that you won't go through waves or seasons where you're doing the thing a little bit less. But when you have this all or nothing mentality, when you are either going to the gym every single day or not, that is the root cause of what has you not actually sustain these different habits. And I'm gonna give you something tactical in a second here that will really help you. But as you know, the tactic itself will never get you that shift. It has to start in the mind first. So I just said something very important. Most people look at everything as all or nothing. This is going to be one of the main shifts that you need. You just need to know where you are and start taking a step to being a little bit better every single day, month, or week. And it's not like you're having a break from working out or all in on working out. No, this black and white way of looking at things is what's causing you so much of that tension and resistance and so much of either one or the other of these results. So I want to give you an example for you to understand this. A lot of people do this with nutrition. They'll either say, I'm eating healthy or I'm not eating healthy. They look at everything in their life as good or bad rather than the truth, which is it is a spectrum. And if you eat 3,000 calories in a day because you decided to eat a little less healthy that day, it's very different than if you just threw it all to the wind because you had an unhealthy day and you decided to binge and eat 5,000 calories. That's a huge difference. So even, which I'll show you in a second, how I actually track these things is not that I did it yes or did it no. It is the percentage as to which I think I did. And making this shift to looking at your days and weeks in a coherent place where you can see the percentage of how you did or the percentage of how you think you did versus just yes or no, I was good or bad, will help you change significantly. So as the example, when it comes to eating food, I don't write yes, I ate good or no, I didn't, because I track everything. And I'll show you my tracker in a second here, which will help you so much with just actually gaining information that you can use to move forward to better yourself in these areas. But before we get into that, I want you to just think about that example. If I'm tracking things, or if I were to look back on my day, it's so much more effective to say, I ate 7 out of 10 today. I ate 6 out of 10 today. Versus I was bad today or good today. Because then if I get a few 6 and 7s out of 10s in, let's say, a whole week of eating, well, you know what? I can look at that, take that information and say, you know what? I'm doing good. I'm doing B, 75, 7, right, out of 10. I'm not doing great. And so it's not about doing great. It's about just moving a little forward. You know what? Maybe next week I want to try and get more 8s on that board. And so I start doing 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10. I'm no longer looking at things are black or white. And I want you to start doing 2 things to actually help you with this. First, I want you to start tracking the habits or the things in your life that you want to be consistent in. Second, I want you to start tracking it in the way that I just mentioned. That way is through percentages rather than yes or no's. And this will help you take a step every single day. And even if you take a step back, it's not a no, throwing it out the window. It's one step back, but we know we're taking steps forward after that. This is one of the most effective ways to actually change that black or white mentality. Now, before I get into the habit tracker and everything here, the next thing that I want you to understand is you have to ingrain it in your identity. If you're trying to actually force actions for you to do something, you want to be in incredible shape, and so you force the action of going to the gym. If you haven't done the mental reconditioning work to actually believe yourself to be a very fit person, then it's going to be hard to sustain that action. So what you have to understand is the willpower is one of our mental faculties, the will. And our willpower fatigues. So if you use your willpower to force an action, you will eventually fatigue. What you have to do is use your willpower to actually impress a different image of yourself onto the subconscious mind. Once the subconscious mind actually believes you to be that fit person, what does a fit person do? They automatically get up and go to the gym. The cool thing about the subconscious mind is it does not fatigue. So when you actually start to believe you are that fit person that goes to the gym, which is a much better way of utilizing your will to actually do that conditioning work, because once the subconscious mind holds it and you believe you are that fit person that goes to the gym, the action of going to the gym doesn't require willpower. It's effortless. It just happens as a natural expression. So as a last point here, I want you to understand that below everything is obviously the story you tell yourself about yourself. And if you haven't changed that identity, then the actions themselves will be held to whatever your current identity is. And so every time you try and force a different action that's not aligned with the identity, it will pull you back. And this is why you self-sabotage. This is where that term comes from. When you're forcing actions that aren't aligned with the identity, the actions won't last long. They will be pulled back to what you actually are holding as your belief of yourself. So the easy example, if you don't believe you're worthy of success, even if you take actions that a successful person would, here's the thing, you will self-sabotage and not actually close whatever deal it is or actually follow through on those things for long enough. Something will pull you back because you don't believe that you're worthy yet. It can hold that image endlessly. So you have to actually shift your self-image, your identity, for you to actually believe you are that person. Then, when you believe you are that person, not only are the actions automatic, but you're not going to slip back to anything. You're going to be held to that. You're going to expect that you get the deals. You're going to expect that the success will come through. Quite literally the opposite of self-sabotage. So this is the next important point that I wanted to make sure I put out in this video. And I don't know if I have yet. If not, I will for sure do an entire video going deeper on the self-image and self-sabotage and the reconditioning process to believe yourself to be a different person, because it is one of the most important topics when it comes to sustainable change in your life. So if you haven't already, take a moment to subscribe to this channel, because we are coming out with tons of incredible content like this all the time to help you actually better your life in every single way. And if you actually implement it and follow it, trust me when I say you can experience any kind of life, your actual dream life. I actually just posted this on my Instagram story. I think it was yesterday. Every single person that I've seen actually get into this work, so my clients where they have direct access to me and we're going deep and we're doing the reconditioning work every single day, experiences huge wins in their life. I have still never seen someone come into this work and actually implement and actually not give up and keep leaning in and do the reconditioning work and not see a drastic change in their life. So you have to understand that, because it works for everyone. The only way you'll lose is if you give up. Now, what I want to do is get into showing you one of the most effective and simple ways for you to actually track your habits. And what this is going to do is hold you accountable to actually bettering yourself every single day in the areas that you want. And I want you to understand the point of this, just like the point of all accountability, is for information. When you are receiving information, it is a feedback loop. So I don't want you to feel shame if you were to see that you put down like 3 out of 10 for nutrition, 10 days in a row or something like that. It's nothing to feel shame or guilt about. What it is it's information. It is a mirror for you to actually look at and see, I have not been showing up for myself in this area of my life. So what can I do to see myself as the person who shows up in that area of their life? And if you actually stick to just filling out this tracker every single single day. It takes less than 5 minutes to fill out this tracker every single day. What you're gonna do is you're gonna tighten the feedback loop. You're getting information every day as to where you're at in the key pillars of your life. So just to pull it up right here, I wanna show you, all I do is I actually, as you can see on the left-hand side here, what I do is I actually will put down what day of the month it is from the first all the way to whatever day that is, right? On the top, I'll actually put down the different habits that I want to stick to every single day. So as an example, you can see here, and I do this for every month, I actually do. You can see this is just like a new one that I created for April. And I'm actually gonna change this and add and take away some few things. So you can even month over month see, if there's something else that you would like to focus on, you can put that in here. So you can see here, for mine, 3 to 5 stories on Instagram, okay? Posting content for us, very important. Sales. So for us, this is new opportunities. What people are we talking to? What speaking gigs are we getting? What are we doing every single day to actually move the needle in terms of gaining new clients and serving more people in this work? And what this is going to do, I want you to just understand this. If every single day I am looking at a column that says sales and either writing people's name down or talking about, that I talked to 4 people, if there's a few days in a row where I didn't talk to anyone or something, you can see what information that would give me, what awareness that would give me to hold myself to a sales consciousness, right? To hold myself to the mindset of actually identifying opportunities that I can utilize to move the business forward. So training for me, this is my triathlon training and my weight training, nutrition. And as I was saying, what you're doing is you're just filling in information. So for nutrition, I'll do a scale of 10. So 7 out of 10, right? For Instagram stories, I'll put, maybe I did 6 stories today, right? Maybe I did 0 the next day, which I almost never do. But then it's just information for me to actually, create some content for my followers the next day. Now you can see I have this in all of the main pillars of my life. So you can see prayer. So I have my spiritual pillar, my spiritual health. I have my physical health with nutrition and training. I have my mental health and, the growing of that with my visualization and my reading. I have my relationship here. So did I prioritize my relationship and spend some present time with my wife every single day? Some time with my dog or out in nature or something like that. And then of course there's the things in the business. So the social media, the sales, that kind of thing. Now it's up to you. You could do this so easily. The way that I do this is, as you can see down here, I have my daily ones and then I have my weekly ones. So these are my daily habits that I want to stick to and my weekly tasks or projects that I want to make sure I'm working on to move the needle every single week. So did I write the book, anything for my book this week? Maybe I'll write that I did 3 hours this week. Maybe the goal is 7 hours. And so I can actually look at, again, information. This will even allow me to go into my schedule and maybe tweak some things, right? How can I improve so that I'm showing up in the ways that I want to move myself towards the life that I want to? You can see, did I film a YouTube video here? Well, for right now, I can say yes. Our newsletter, right? Our long-term build, which is, a whole other part of the business. Now, what I also love is at the end of every single day, I will put wins or lessons. So this is great for me because it's like, what new awarenesses or what lessons that I learned that I can actually hold myself to going forward. I'm not going to show you some of my other ones because they are really personal, but I'll go back and read the different wins and lessons and actually be able to see what emotionally struck me that day, if that makes sense, or where I need to actually sharpen up and tighten up and improve or whatever it is, right? So these different wins and lessons, think of if every single day you're identifying new awarenesses, new wins, new lessons, you are going to grow incredibly fast, especially if you look back on them. Not only because you're going to have this bank of incredible wins and lessons that you can actually look at and see every day and learn from, also because you are acknowledging your growth. You are acknowledging the amount of movement you're making in your life. And this will continue to build your self-image and your belief in that things are all happening. They're moving forward in that right way. Now, I'm telling you, if you take
take the information in this video, if you make a simple habit tracker just like this,
you can be a multi-millionaire in just a year or two. If you're already a multi-millionaire, you can 10x your net worth. You can deepen your relationships. You can actually experience peace of mind or the body and physique that you want or whatever it is. If you hold yourself to this standard of actually filling out a tracker for 5 minutes a day and experiencing that feedback loop and using it as that, using it as information and feedback to just better yourself and take a step every single day. And remember, that step that you take every single day is not just the outward action, it is the reconditioning of who you believe yourself to be. And when you recondition that, all of the actions are effortless and automatic. All of the results you want to experience will automatically come as a byproduct as well. It all works together, but it all starts with you having that mirror, having that feedback loop, and tracking it in a way that doesn't tear you down, but builds you up and gives you that ability to see yourself as that person and to iterate and improve on what you're seeing every single day. So if you haven't yet, hit subscribe on this channel because we are committed to helping you actually improve your life in the ways that you want. And if you want to take it deeper, shoot us a message on Instagram at Adam of Venus. You know, I was just talking about this with someone recently. I have never seen someone get fully into this work, like actually in the room with us, and ask us questions and get direct help with this and not see their life completely change. If you get coaching in this domain and stick to this work and continue to lean in, your life will drastically change. It's science. It happens for everyone. So if you got something out of this video, save it, like this video, send it to a friend, utilize what's here, create a simple tracker like this to start making those steps for yourself, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.